So the next tip is something that you can start implementing right now the next time you try a handstand and will almost immediately improve your handstand holds.
Okay, so in this video, I'm going to be talking about why you can't already do a handstand. Now, you're probably wondering, why have I got up at 5 in the morning to come and tell you this? Well, I'll be explaining that in the next video. I've got something else coming, not so related to handstands and more related to routine, mindset, and lifestyle, I suppose. And yeah, I'm really enjoying sort of filming that and documenting that. But anyway, check this out, where I'm walking this morning. Madness. Let me get the country there. Better view. So yeah, I'm gonna go for a walk and I'm gonna be explaining why you can't do a handstand. Let's go. So the first and most likely reason as to why you can't do a handstand comes down to the simple fact if you literally just haven't tried enough. It comes down to a lack of experience. And a lot of people just start training handstands and expect to be able to do them straight away, and I'm afraid it's just not the way it works. You have to put time into it, you have to put effort into it, you have to educate yourself on actually what to train, how much to train, the technique, etc. There's a lot that goes into it. So if you're like a month or a week into handstand training and you can't do one, that's absolutely normal. It took me over a year until I was getting consistent holds and getting really, really good at them and seeing some real results that I wanted to. So yeah. The next thing I want to talk about is your impatience. Now, everybody's impatient when you're trying to learn a handstand. It's normal. However, you have to go into your training and sort of disregard your emotions, disregard your impatience, just accept that you're not going to be able to do it as well as you'd like for a while, and that's the point in practicing. Now, there's a very common saying, practice makes perfect. However, a lot of people argue that there's no such thing as perfection, blah, 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 blah. In handstands, I'd agree with that and say there is no such thing as perfection, so practice makes permanent. If you start warming up, you start training, it's been 20 minutes and you haven't got a handstand, or you feel like you're not having a good day in your handstand training, don't give up. Those are the days where you've got to push on. Those are the days where you've got to put the effort into the training. You're not always going to feel like doing them, but at the end of the day, you don't have to learn the skill. If you're really trying, if that's a goal of yours and you're determined to get it, then you will get it. The third reason why you probably can't do a handstand yet is due to lack of education. Do you know the biomechanics of a handstand? Do you know how it works? No? If you don't, then you need to learn. Otherwise you're going to find it really, really difficult to progress or to even achieve the handstand. There is a science and an art to hand balancing, and there is easier ways of standing on your hands than others. So either contact myself or watch other YouTube videos. There's a ton of free information out there. You don't have to pay for a coach, you don't have to pay for a course. It's everywhere. Handstand technique videos are everywhere. I've made some myself. So yeah, educate yourself. Okay, so I just recorded this and you can't hear me because it's very windy. So far in this video, I've only talked about sort of mindset things and how you can approach your handstand training. Now, I haven't talked anything about technique, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to prop the camera down now, do a voiceover, and sort of explain some things that might be going wrong in your technique that could be holding you back into actually getting your holds.
Okay, so the first element of technique I'm going to be talking about is the engagement of your legs. Everybody thinks that handstands is just pure upper body engagement. However, it's not. It's full body engagement, and especially in the legs. You have to remember to squeeze your feet together, keep your toes pointed, and keep your legs nice and straight if you're going for that line handstand. Watch what happens as I disengage my legs. I lose control. It's just not the same and not as effective. So the next tip is something that you can start implementing right now the next time you try handstand and will almost immediately improve your handstand holds. And what I'm talking about here is all important hand placement. Now, if you have your hands too wide, then you are more likely to underbalance. If you have your hands too narrow, you're more likely to overbalance. What we want is a nice balance in between. So I like to have my hands directly underneath my shoulders, and that is what most handstand coaches will teach you. Now, the purpose of this is to stack your joints. This costs less energy and gives you a bit more headspace to actually think about technique. And the final thing I'm going to talk about from a technical point of view is what you're looking at right now. And if this is you, please just
stop it. Get some help.
Stop. You need to learn the kick up effectively. All right. So as you can see in this video, I'm just kicking my legs up and trying to get my legs over, and my back is arching way too much. I'm keeping my hands on the floor and it's just not working. What we want to think about is making our body nice and long and getting our hips up, and the legs will follow. All right. It's really, really important that you practice your kick up and understand the correct technique on how to enter it. Sometimes your entry can determine how the rest of your hold will play out.
Okay, so do you need to learn technique in handstands? If you want to get there more effectively and it costs less energy, then absolutely yes you do. I had to work for it. I couldn't just throw my legs up and get into a handstand straight away. It was a lot of work for me. I had to do a lot of work on the wall. But I want to quickly stop here and just talk about persistence. Now, a lot of people think persistence is just persistent until you succeed, but it's not. Even when you do see good holds, even when you do succeed, that's when you need to persist. All right? So what a lot of people do is they'll smash handstands up until they get the first hold, and then they'll go, I can do it. And then they'll stop training. When in reality they can't. They just need to keep going. They need to keep pushing through those holds and making it consistent. Persistence makes consistent holds in handstand, I'm afraid. So yeah, I mean, I hope you've enjoyed this different style of video. If you found this in any way at all helpful, then please give the video a like, please subscribe. And if you've got any questions about handstands, just give me a message and I'll be happy to answer. I've really enjoyed doing this, climbing up this mountain today and filming this video. So I'll be looking forward to the next one. Goodbye.